Welcome back to Under Par Acres. It's close to time to get seed in the ground, so this week we're going to spend a lot of time landscaping around the putting green and getting it prepared for seed. And we're also going to test the idea of whether we want to put a bunker in or not. We gassed our entire yard about 10 days ago, and it's really started to brown out nicely. So now we're ready to get back to work around the putting green as we're getting very close to time to put the seed down. The goal is to create a nice gentle slope all around the green so that we can hit bump and run shots from all over the field and have a chance at keeping it on the green. But I've got to get a lot more dirt pressed right up to the edge of the green before I can get it smoothed out and grow grass. So I'm going to start out by getting the tractor and the box blade out and drive it over to the green and get to work. I deposited a few loads of dirt near the putting green over the last couple of days, so I'm going to use the box blade to move it all around the sides of the greens, and then we're going to go back later and rake it all up to the edge. First off, we're going to drive a couple laps around the green just to get it smoothed off, and then we're going to drop off dirt every couple of feet that will come back later to use for the grading. And once we're out of the dirt that we had saved up, we're going to drive over to the garden area where we have plenty of dirt that we can move over and use. And speaking of the garden, our fall squash and pumpkins are coming in very nice, and we're close to picking our first ever watermelon as well. But back to the job at hand, we're going to move as much dirt as we need, and we're going to get started grading the green. Once I've got enough piles of dirt piled up around the green, I'm going to use the back side of the box blade. I'm going to start pushing the dirt right up as close to the edge of the green as I can. And while this doesn't move the dirt quite as easily as that bulldozer we had out here the other day, it sure is a lot better than doing this by hand. Once I've got the dirt as close to the edge of the green as I can with the tractor and box blade, it's time to get the rake and the landscape rake out and start fine-tuning it right up to the edge. I want to create a nice gentle slope running away from the green, as that'll keep the rainwater draining away from the surface and make for really good bump and run shots. Once I'm done raking, I'm going to get the box blade back out, turn the blade to an angle that smooths rather than digs, and run a few more laps around the green to really start smoothing things out. And once we've got it where we want it, we're going to use the newly installed water line to turn on the hose, dampen out the dirt, and start compacting. And if you've seen the videos where I built the putting green, you'll know that I decided to buy a plate compactor rather than renting it, and that turned out to be a fantastic decision as this thing has been used a lot. We're going to follow the same process several times until we get the slope exactly the way we want it. Next up, we got the disc plow out, as my intention was to cut up the 20-yard fairway that leads into the green and get seed on that as well. But when I was finished, I realized that as hard as it is to change out the tractor attachments, I might as well go ahead and cut up the entire field while I've got the disc plow on. And once finished, it was looking really good and ready for lime, fertilizer, and then seed. But while I had the disc plow on, I decided that I might as well go ahead and chop up the tee box area on our driving range as well, as we're going to be ready to put seed in there too. Back at the putting green, I've been thinking a lot lately about whether I should put a bunker in or not, and I've even had some people comment telling me that I should. So I used a hose that I had laying around to draw out the outline of a bunker to get a better view of what it might look like. And of course, when I went home that day, this was all I could think about, so I came back out the next day with some orange paint and I started drawing up some mock designs to see how it looks. After that, I got the tractor and box blade back out and smoothed out everything around the putting green so we could get ready for seed. And the thought of building a bunker was really eating away at me, so I went ahead and dropped off a handful of loads of dirt where I would build a bunker so I could start playing around with the idea. If I decide not to build the bunker right now, I can easily clean all this up with the box blade in about 5 minutes. But leave me a comment down below the video and let me know if you think I ought to go for it or not. All in all, things are starting to look really good around the putting green, and I still have a little touch-up work to do around the edges, but we're really close to ready to put the seed in. And I'll keep playing around with the idea of building a bunker, but as of right now, I got a pretty good idea of what direction I'm going to go. Thanks as always for watching, and we will see you soon.